I should have broken up with him. Did I just say love? Was it love? Love. Hi everyone, Jazz is back. Welcome to a story time video. Now, if this is your first time, my name is Jasmine and I would love for you to keep in touch with me. So before getting into the details today, make sure you say Jazz to subscribing, like this video, and hit on the bell to get notified when a video goes live, because I do not have a posting schedule. I do not, okay? I do not have a posting schedule. Also follow me on my Instagram at Jazzy Miguel, because that is where I notify all my friends that a video is coming live the next day. Okay, so with all that being said, let's get straight to this video. In order to talk about this story, there is a lot of background information you need to know in order for this story to really make sense. I was a rebel. No, so okay, so this story is based around a boyfriend I had. Now, it's not just any boyfriend. This is my first boyfriend. Yes, my first boyfriend ever. And I was 13 years old, so I was in 7th grade in middle school. And a very important detail about this is that I was not allowed to date. I was not. So I was putting in a lot of work into this relationship to make sure that no one in my family knew. Let me tell you, it was pretty hard keeping it a secret, but I got away with a lot of stuff, okay? I did see him out of school, so I definitely lied a lot, but yeah, guys, I was 13 years old. He was my first boyfriend. His name is Chris, and I was not allowed to date during this time. I had a best friend, and her name was Anna, okay? So we were really, really close. She is actually the first person that I ever took to church with me. So yes, we were very close, or at least I thought we were. Something that you should really know in order for this story to make sense is a little bit of how we broke up. For me, it was bad. It was a bad breakup. A lot of horrible things happened after we broke up. To me, it was a very bad breakup. For the sake of this story, I would have to share that I had strong feelings for Chris. So our breakup did affect me emotionally because I really liked him. I really did. Now the thing about this is that when we first started dating, I actually didn't like him like that. I didn't like him as a boyfriend, and I honestly didn't really know him. We were just both in band. The more I got to know him, I immediately fell for him. Like, I immediately fell for him, and I was like, yes girl, he's mine. He's my boyfriend. So you might be saying, okay, Jasmine, he's your first boyfriend, but how long did you guys date? Well, we dated for around almost 7 months, which I know might not seem like a lot, but for a 13-year-old who had to keep it a secret, it was a long time. So this was in middle school. Everyone was breaking up left, right, and me and Chris were just pushing through. I should have broken up with him, but he did. He broke up with me, and we had class together. I believe it was like 5th period, and he was sitting like 2 seats in back of me, and he broke up with me through a note. So he wrote it on a note, and they passed the note to me. I opened it, and he broke up with me, and I turned around and I was like,
are you for sure about this?
And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay. And that's how we broke up. Did I see it coming? Like, were there signs that he was gonna break up with me? No. I was shocked. I was like, what? I didn't see any signs that he was going to break up with me at all. But he did. Boys are complicated like that. So me, Chris, and Anna We all knew each other because of band. So we were all in band throughout middle school. Me and Anna were actually both flute players, and Chris, he was a percussionist. He was in percussion. So now that you guys know like a lot of like the background details, I'm going to actually get to the story of how it happened that my best friend dated my boyfriend. So after breaking up, you know, after he passed that note to me, just 2 to 3 weeks after we just broken up, I found out that they were dating. So let me tell you guys how I found out. So we were in band. This friend of mine, she approached me and she was like,
hey, you know, your best friend is dating Chris.
And she seemed really confused when she told me about it. And I was like, what? And she's like,
yeah, they're dating. Did he know?
and I was like, no. And she was like,
Oh, I thought you knew because like everyone's been talking about it.
and guys, I was so broken, like so broken. So when I found that, it just made things worse for me. My heart physically felt so heavy, like if it weighed 100 pounds, it felt so heavy. That's the only way I can describe it, that my heart felt like it was just so heavy for my body, like my body couldn't really support it. And I went home, and I remember that night I definitely cried. I cried and I cried, and let me just say that it was so hard to go to school the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. It was just very, very hard. So a lot of people ask me like,
Jasmine, did you see it coming? Jasmine, like, what did you think about it? Like, how do you feel? Jasmine, I saw this coming because this and that.
Like, so many people would ask me, and I would just tell them to leave me alone because I did not want to open up my mouth because it would cause drama. People would twist my words around. Like, I just didn't say anything. So I'm going to open up today in this video about why I didn't see this coming. And now that I look back at it, like, there are a couple of things that kind of were red flags. There were times when like Chris and her were not alone, but they were like having their own conversation. I would look, and I mean, Anna was very, very like smiley, kind of like flirty, this and that, but I didn't see nothing wrong about it because Chris was a very humorous person, which kind of one of the things I loved. But he was a very, very funny person, so usually anyone who would talk to him, they would just end up like laughing, cracking up, smiling. So I didn't see anything wrong with that because he was a very funny person. He definitely had some good jokes, so I saw nothing wrong with it. Another thing that really like I didn't see this coming was because when me and Anna would hang out, she would, obviously she was my best friend, so she would tell me stuff, right? She would always tell me of all these guys she's talking to. She would be texting this guy from class, texting this other guy from class. When me and Chris were dating, like, I never saw her as a threat because she would always be like flirting and with other guys. So I knew she never had her eye on my boyfriend. That kind of really threw me off on what actually ended up happening. There is one thing that happened that was really, really weird. So when me and Chris broke up, she completely stopped talking to me. And let me go ahead and talk to you guys about what exactly I mean by that. So I was Anna's best friend, and Anna had another best friend, and that best friend did not like me, and I knew that. So it was kind of like, I guess, a little bit hard for her because she had two best friends and one of them didn't like the other. I didn't give a crap about her. I was just very neutral about it. But when Chris and I broke up, she completely stopped talking to me. She would stop physically approaching me after classes, and anytime I would go looking around for her to hang out, to go and talk to her during lunch, she would be with that particular best friend. And when I saw that she would hang out with her a lot, I didn't feel comfortable approaching her because I knew that girl didn't like me. So I just stayed to myself. So basically she chose the other girl over me, and obviously she also chose my boyfriend over me. Another weird thing that happened was right when we broke up, like I said, she completely stopped talking to me and everything. But one day after school, she approached me with another girl next to her, and she asked me a very weird question. She asked me,
if Chris were to date someone, what would you do?
And I was caught off guard. I was like, in my mind, I was like,
Hold up. You stopped talking to me. You completely left me. And now you're going to talk to me about... But it's about him? Not like, oh, how are you, Jasmine? How's your day? Like,
what? Like, I was just caught off guard. But I mean, what I answered her, I told her, I was like, well, I'm not gonna do anything. I mean, he's single, I'm single. I mean, I'm not gonna fight anyone. I won't do nothing. And she asked me like 3 times the same question. I'm pretty sure she asked it just to reassure herself. And then when I got home and I was thinking back to it, I was like,
damn, I think there's someone who is like crushing on Chris.
and then I immediately thought, oh, it was that girl that was next to Anna. Like, it was that girl. Anna was just asking for her. But obviously, she was not asking for her. She was asking for herself, obviously. Now, to go ahead and start wrapping up this story, I do want to say and make it clear that even though this video did focus a lot around my best friend, I do want to make it clear that it wasn't just her. It was also Chris. Chris was my boyfriend, and he knew how much I valued my friendship with Anna. He knew that me and Anna were really good friends. When Chris broke up with me, like, he knew that I still liked him. Like, I made it clear to him that I still liked him and everything. So he knew I still had a crush on him, that I still liked him. And another thing that kind of makes it worse is that after he broke up with me, he would still send me notes and like make me think that he still had a crush on me. It's just that we couldn't date for right now. So he made me think that we were gonna date later on in the future. But yet he ended up dating my best friend. So I don't want to like have Chris off the hook. No, like, they were both responsible for hurting me. It wasn't just my best friend. But even though this situation did hurt me, it really opened up my eyes to many things. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about people, about friendships, about relationships, and about myself as well. I think right now Anna is a mother. I think she has like a little, well, a boy. I mean, a lot of people my age are already mothers. And as for Chris, I have absolutely no idea of his existence ever since we promoted middle school, 8th grade. I have no idea what happened to him. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know if he's the father. I don't know anything about him. But regardless, I wish both of them growth, health, wealth, love, wisdom, and happiness. So guys, I hope you guys like this story time video. No matter what friends end up doing to you or boyfriend ends up doing to you, just remember to keep on jazzing. Guys, come on, just keep on jazzing. I know it's hard, but just keep on jazzing and stay in touch. Adios.